how delightful for this morning. So what are enzymes? I think that enzymes are something that's really difficult for students to understand because it's one of those words we don't really use that often. Unless you are a diet guru, you may not be thinking about the enzymes that are constantly at work within your body. So what are enzymes? Enzymes are proteins. If you look at the picture there, you can see they are 3D proteins. They are this twisted package of amino acids. So lots of A's and C's and T's and G's put together to make these large proteins. And these proteins are going to, 1, be the building blocks of you, and 2, tell the you how to function. So it builds up your body, and then things like hormones and steroids and enzymes are going to make you do the processes you need to do in order to be alive. So each one of the enzymes that are inside of your body are going to work with a very specific substrate. That means the molecule that's acted on by an enzyme. So the enzyme is this protein that acts on a molecule in order to speed up this chemical reaction. And so we'll be looking at this a little bit more as we go along. I hope my hands don't look all crazy. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like, but I guess I'll have to go back and watch this video. So here what we see is we have an active site. So our enzymes are basically like a lock and key. They've got this very specific fold to them, and they fit into a substrate to form what's called the enzyme substrate complex. So an enzyme plus a substrate are 2 little puzzle pieces that fit together perfectly in order to form this enzyme substrate complex. So you can see it's folded in a certain way that it matches up exactly, fitting together like a puzzle. I also think of it sometimes, because I'm diabetic, I think about insulin and the way insulin acts on the sugar molecules. It's like a lock and key. The insulin unlocks the sugar molecules, making them available for energy sources within my body. If I don't take insulin, I'm diabetic, I'm type 1 diabetic, if I don't take my shots every day, then basically my body starves because it can't get any of the energy from the sugar. So you can see it's a very complicated process, and if anything goes wrong, then you can end up in trouble. So enzymes always match up to a specific substrate. If you look at the picture right here, you can see that the first enzyme that we have is a lactose molecule, and lactase is the name of the enzyme that fits together with lactose and makes that milk sugar available. In the one on the bottom, you can see a starch molecule, and it is using the enzyme amylase to unlock that energy that's within the starch. And so if something goes wrong, like if you can't digest lactose from milk, like if you're lactose intolerant, sometimes you can take a enzyme called lactaid. You've probably seen it in the grocery store, or if you've ever heard of lactaid milk, it's like milk that doesn't have milk in it, and it makes it so that you can drink the milk without getting sick. People that are lactose intolerant get really sick eating milk products. The starch and the amylase is what's found inside of your mouth, inside of your saliva. So if you've ever done the saltine experiment, where you basically put a saltine in your mouth and let your saliva go about starting to digest it, because digestion starts in your mouth with your saliva. So you put the saltine in your mouth, and as your saliva starts to mix around with it, you start to taste a really sweet, kind of sticky feeling happening in your mouth. That's because the sugars are being released from the starch as your amylase in your saliva starts to break them down. And so your body goes about all these amazing things to get the energy that it needs from the food that you're eating. So each enzyme has this definite 3D shape. You can see that the lactose and lactase look different than the starch and the amylase. So different 3D structures for all these different enzymes in our body. And each enzyme is going to act on only one specific substrate. So it means lock and key. That key fits with that lock and only with that lock. It's only going to break down specific substances. So what do we need enzymes for anyways? We talked about breaking down starches in your mouth. We talk about breaking down milk sugars. But enzymes do things that you probably have no idea about. In order for the leaves in the fall to turn the beautiful colors, here we are in Ohio, we've got yellows and oranges and reds and purples. Enzymes work to turn the colors, the leaves, those colors in the fall, and then they fall off the tree and become part of the dirt. The enzymes are also helping to ripen foods. So if you've ever seen your bananas go from beautiful and yellow to mushy and brown, that's enzymes at work. Or if you've ever had an apple that you pressed on it, it's got a big mushy spot, that's because enzymes are going to work breaking it down. We've got the digestion of food happening within our bodies all the time. Enzymes are going to help to produce DNA and produce hormones. And so without life, or without enzymes, life would not be able to happen. Without enzymes, the chemical reactions inside of our bodies would happen so slowly, we would not be able to survive. And without enzymes, our food wouldn't be available for us to eat. The plants that are out there in the environment wouldn't do the things that they need to do. And so without enzymes, life as we know it would disappear. That sounds really gloom and doom, doesn't it? So what are some things that affect enzymes in a reaction? So thinking about as the temperatures get cooler in the fall, the leaves are going to begin to change colors, and so temperature is one of those things that affects enzymes. Every enzyme has an optimal temperature. The ones that are inside of your body are going to happen best at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, 37 degrees Celsius. So the temperature in your body is going to affect enzymes. The other thing that affects enzymes is pH. So how acidic or how alkaline it is inside of your body or out in the environment where these enzymes are. So pH is going to affect it. So that should make sense. Temperature around you, amount of acidity.